Today we got a massive reveal about a ton of information on the PlayStation 5. However, one little thing that kind of got swept under the rug is the fact that Bluepoint Games is actually working on a title for the PlayStation 5. Now, why is this so significant? I'll explain all about that. Outside of that, Doom Eternal has been unfortunately delayed until March of 2020, March 20th to be exact. We'll go over Bethesda's statement on that and what to be on the lookout for. First up, I do want to talk something very interesting that in Wired's article talking about the PlayStation 5, they actually talked to Marco Thrush, who is the president of Bluepoint Games, and he noted, we're working on a game for PlayStation 5. He specifically said, we're working on a big one right now, I'll let you figure out the rest. Now, yes, that is such a small statement. Should we really be looking into it too much? Absolutely we should be, because it's Bluepoint Games, and if you guys are unaware about Bluepoint, I imagine a lot of you guys are. They've actually done a lot of terrific remasters and remakes. Uncharted: The Nathan Drake Collection, I believe they helped out with The Last of Us remastered. However, what they're the most known for at this point is the Shadow of the Colossus remake, much more because that was a full-on remake of a game ground up for the PlayStation 4, where in the case of Uncharted: The Nathan Drake Collection and all of the other remasters they helped out with, they were just remasters. Yes, they looked a little bit better, but at the end of the day, they were essentially the same games. In the case of Shadow of the Colossus, it was legitimately a ground-up remake, so everyone is excited. What can this PlayStation 5 game be? Well, I'll give you my speculation. It could very well be a Demon's Souls remake. Yes, that sounds insane, but we know that a Demon's Souls remake is in the works based on what Colin Moriarty said. However, we had thought for a while that that was a PlayStation 4 title. So is Demon's Souls going to be a PlayStation 4 game? I don't think so. I actually think it transitioned to a PlayStation 5 game. I have been of the mindset that at this point, this late in the game, I don't think there's a lot of reason to release a Demon's Souls remake on the PlayStation 4. However, as a PlayStation 5 launch title, I am not kidding you guys, Demon's Souls as a remake is a legitimate system seller for a ton of people. Demon's Souls is this massive game that's almost built up this lore over the years where people herald back to it and look back to it almost like Final Fantasy VII. Maybe not to that extent, but it's that iconic experience, and it really spawned off all of the Souls games that we know today. People go back to Final Fantasy VII and look at that game as spawning off a lot of the other Final Fantasy experiences that were to come. So to do a full-on remake for that game would be absolutely huge, and if you release it as a PlayStation 5 launch title, yeah, that would be a massive launch title. Pair that with like a new game from Guerrilla Games, whether that be a Horizon Zero Dawn 2 or a new Killzone, that would be an incredible launch lineup for the PlayStation 5. Bear in mind that launch lineups are not supposed to be crazy. You get a couple of third-party games here and there, and then you get a couple of exclusives to round things out, and that's really your launch lineup. You're not expecting to play 100 games right out of the gate for the PlayStation 5 on launch day. Going back to the PlayStation 4's launch day, it was a little bit lukewarm. We had Killzone Shadowfall, which from a marquee standpoint was really good. The game itself was a little bit underwhelming. We had Knack, which wasn't very good, and then we had Resogun as well. Outside of that, it was a lot of third-party games. Need for Speed Rivals, Battlefield 4, Assassin's Creed 4. We weren't getting a ton of major blockbuster releases right out of the gate, and honestly, if we can launch with a Demon's Souls remake and then follow that up and also launch with a Horizon Zero Dawn 2 or something like that, because you know one of the major first-party studios from Sony is gonna deliver something huge on launch, well, that would be an incredible launch. Couple that with all of the third-party games dropping, that would be a home run, and that's just my 2 cents on that. However, could it be something different from Bluepoint Games? Chances are it is some sort of remake. I've seen crazy ideas thrown around like it's a Legend of Dragoon remake. I really don't think it's that. I think best bet is a Demon's Souls remake, and that would be huge as a PlayStation 5 launch title. Could it be something like Ratchet and Clank? Could it be Sly Cooper? I just don't think that would drum up the interest like a PlayStation 5 remake of Demon's Souls would do, because I think that would be absolutely massive. And given that Elden Ring is supposed to be released early on in 2020, probably in the first half, why would you release Demon's Souls right around the same time? Let's follow that up with Demon's Souls either sometime in the fall or even after the launch of the PS5 in the spring of 2021. I just think that would make the most amount of sense. I also want to add that Marco Thrush spoke a little bit about the SSD in the PlayStation 5, and he noted, the SSD has me really excited. You don't need to do gameplay hacks anymore to artificially slow players down, lock them behind doors, anything like that. Back in the cartridge days, games used to load instantly. We're kind of going back to what consoles used to be. It seems like every development studio is very excited for the possibilities that the solid state drive is going to offer. I know a lot of you guys that have been exclusively gaming on on consoles don't know the importance of an SSD over a mechanical hard drive, but it is a huge improvement going entirely to flash memory as opposed to a mechanical hard drive. It is going to be so much quicker, so much faster, and it's going to be better for games all around, and that's something literally every game next generation is going to be able to take advantage of. Hell, some games from this generation playing on backwards compatibility are probably going to take significant advantage of having a solid state drive, so that is incredibly exciting. The only thing I question about the SSD is how big of an SSD are we going to pack into the PS5? I feel like we need a 1TB SSD just because game file sizes are going to be pretty big come next generation, but nonetheless, that is my 2 cents on that. We'll wait and see. I really want to hear what Bluepoint is working on. We've known for a while that they were working on a major remake. Whether that be a PS4 or PS5 game was really the question. Now we know it's a PS5 game, and I'm thinking it's not all too much of a far cry that Demon's Souls Remake ends up being a PS5 launch title. Alright, moving on from that, some unfortunate news. Doom Eternal was scheduled to be one of the major games to be released this fall, but publisher Bethesda Software and developer id Software have delayed Doom Eternal from its previously announced release date of November 22nd now to March 20th, 2020. So not a gigantic delay, but about 4 months, and here's the entire message from Bethesda. Throughout the development of Doom Eternal, our goal has been to deliver a game that exceeds your greatest expectations across the board. To make sure we're delivering the best experience for Doom Eternal, to live up to our standards of speed and polish, we've made the decision to extend our launch date by a few months to March 20th, 2020. We know many fans will be disappointed by this delay, but we are confident Doom Eternal will deliver a gaming experience that is well worth the wait. In addition to shifting the Doom Eternal launch date, we've made a couple of other changes we wanted you to know about, so let's go through those as well. We've got an update on Invasion Mode, which will allow you to enter another player's game as a playable demon. Will release as a free update shortly after launch, so that won't be dropping at launch, but it'll be offered as an update later on. Doom Eternal for Nintendo Switch will release after the other platforms. We will announce that date in the future, so if you're looking to play Doom Eternal on the Nintendo Switch, that's going to come a little bit later. And lastly, Doom 64 will be available on Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and PC in addition to Nintendo Switch. We are adding Doom 64 as a pre-order bonus for Doom Eternal on all platforms, so you'll be able to download and play this classic game for free for just pre-ordering Doom Eternal. Doom 64 will release on March 20th, 2020 on all platforms. I think that's Nintendo Switch included, so that's kind of cool. They end the statement by saying, "We are grateful to every Doom fan for your dedication and support. We can't wait to rip and tear right alongside you." So there you have it. One of the major game releases of this fall has been delayed until March 2020. And let me add that this fall at this point is kind of memes compared to early 2020. Yeah, we got Death Stranding. Yeah, we got Medieval Remake, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Outer World. Those are some cool games. However, I point to you guys early 2020. The Last of Us Part 2, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Doom Eternal, Watch Dogs Legion, Cyberpunk 2077, you've got Dragon Ball Kakarot in the beginning portion of the year. They announced Iron Man VR for PlayStation VR, that's coming on February 21st, and I'm probably forgetting a couple games, and it is still October. More games are gonna be announced. It was rumored that Elden Ring was gonna be coming sometime in April. It was rumored that Persona 5 Royal was gonna be coming sometime in March. If you guys are spending all your money during this fall season, I would implore you to save some of your cash to wait for early 2020, because in my eyes, early 2020 is way more stacked than fall 2019. Generally speaking, the early portion of the year is filled with a lot of big game releases, but never is it even more packed than fall of the prior year, and in this case, I think early 2020 is way more packed with compelling releases. Look, I'm way more excited for The Last of Us Part 2 than I am Death Stranding. I am so excited for Cyberpunk 2077. Doom Eternal is gonna be awesome. Final Fantasy VII Remake is absolutely huge, and you look at those games all dropping in the early portion of the year, it is stacked. This fall, really, we got Borderlands 3, and then we're getting Death Stranding upcoming. Games like Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Ghost Recon Breakpoint, those are big games, but I don't think those are the absolute marquee experiences that a lot of hardcore gamers are looking forward to, but nonetheless, that's my 2 cents. Maybe you guys will disagree. And that's gonna conclude this video. Again, open the speculation in the comment section below. Let me know what you guys want out of Bluepoint Games. Think of a remake. What kind of a remake would you really like to see as a PS5 title? Does Demon's Souls fit the bill? Would you love to see that as a PS5 launch title? And is that a legit system seller to you guys? Let me know. And Doom Eternal has been unfortunately delayed until March 20th, 2020. A little bit of a delay. We're gonna wait another 4 months, but hopefully that means the game is gonna end up even more awesome. That's gonna conclude this video. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.